emergency service calls of EMS and police vehicles, and it is a disruption of service to people in their normal commutation to work. So as far as I'm concerned, this is not a done deal or a dead deal. It should have been attended to earlier and more aggressively by the town with the county.
Thank you, Mr. Messina. Mr. Panger?
When I was notified of the bridge closing, I was asked to comment. I wrote a letter to the county advising them that I could understand the current bridge because of its condition had to be closed. It's a dangerous bridge, but that we advocated to have the bridge rebuilt. We would like to have that access established once again. I've signed a petition. I've talked to the county legislator in that area about that. I support the bridge being rebuilt. I know it's a costly project. I know it's not going to happen overnight, but I think it's something that we can accomplish. It does affect emergency access in that area, and we're very concerned about that. But more importantly, one of the things that I always look at is connecting our community. And without that bridge, a section of our community is disenfranchised from the rest of the town. So I think that's an important aspect of looking at that whole thing and making sure that we keep those connections open. So I'm advocating for that bridge to be rebuilt.
Thank you, Mr. Panger. Mr. Panger? It seems indisputable that the town's infrastructure is aging and in need of frequent repair. What will you do to improve how we address our infrastructure problems and faults?
Well, that's a great question. One of the things that I've learned a lot about since becoming supervisor is the town infrastructure. I've become intimately familiar with sewer pump stations. And we started a project 2 years ago, $5 million project, to start addressing the sewer system in our town and try and fix sewer pump stations and upgrade those. We're currently looking at, of course, as I said before, we're doing our capital plan. That capital plan is going to be designed to identify those infrastructure needs that are immediate, those that are short-term, and those that are long-term, so we can start planning for paying for those projects. In addition, we're looking. We've done a lot of triage as we've done our facilities review. We've done triage to address those immediate needs, like a hole in the roof out at the water plant. And if anybody's read lately, we're going to remove a house down at the Henry Hudson Park because the building is old and in disrepair, and the cost benefit there isn't there to replace it. So we're looking at the entire infrastructure. We know that's an issue. It's one of the things that I'm going to be continuing to look at in another term, and I'm going to be developing plans so in the long term, all of those infrastructure needs that the town needs to be concerned about continue to be addressed long beyond Councilman Messina, myself, and any of the town board.
Thank you, Mr. Panger. Mr. Messina?
Mr. Cunningham mentioned having a bridge to connect our town together. I have a different view of connectivity. It's more open town government. It's having a few town board meetings around town. It's having maybe sometimes as many people as you have here at town board meetings instead of 4 or 5. It's putting our town board meetings on the website so they can be seen. It's expanding our agenda and doing things like that. Getting around town, that's how you connect our town. On capital plan and infrastructure, we are 2 years later than we should have been. That has cost our town money in emergency expenditures of probably $700,000 or more, period. Leadership says that we did not need a 2020 committee to tell us that we need a capital plan. All organizations should know that, and we should have. So I think our agenda from here forward ought to be to do what politicians are sometimes slow to do, and that is to invest in those things that we do not see, like our water and sewer systems, much of which is underground. I recently heard at a town board meeting that the capital plan may be moving in the direction of rebuilding town hall or our court facility or highway. I'm not saying that they're not needed, but we have to have some discussions about whether our water and sewer systems and our deteriorating pipes below the ground ought not be a priority rather than new buildings. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Messina. What do you think about consolidation of municipalities? Specifically, how would you move to consolidate services to the betterment of service and efficiency?
Well, consolidation is one of those words that gets people kind of nervous when they start to think about it because they wonder what it means in terms of their responsibilities and in terms of their involvement with organizations that they care a lot about. Whether you're talking about municipal services or town services or police departments or fire departments or school districts, etc. We ought not fear the word consolidation. Because if we work together, if we look at those places that we can actually say, what are the win-win situations for our town? How can we deal with the issues of concern that we might have over control and replace those with an opportunity to find negotiable agreements where the community wins in terms of greater service and reduced costs? We ought to be willing to engage those, to sit down and have conversations about them. Very often, what you will find is not so much the issue of consolidation, but shared services that can achieve much of what you want and much of what our town should do.
Thank you very much, Mr. Messina. Mr. Cunningham?
Well, I concur with a lot of what Mr. Messina said. We shouldn't be afraid of looking at opportunities to consolidate and share services. We do a lot of that already. We work closely with the Town of Scotland on some things. We work very closely with the county. We've looked at other ideas for ways to reduce costs to taxpayers by either sharing services or consolidating. Within Town Hall, we've tried to do a lot of consolidation. We've consolidated our call center. We've consolidated our fleet management in order to reduce the number of cars and trucks that we have in our fleet and make sure that departments within town are sharing different pieces of equipment. We've saved a lot of money doing that, and we're going to continue to drive those costs down by looking for ways to consolidate. I mentioned earlier that we're working with Albany County on looking at the possibility of consolidating our 911 center or PSAP with other municipalities in Albany County out to Voorheesville. The issues surrounding consolidation are not always clear, and sometimes the cost-benefit analysis indicates that consolidation isn't the right way to go. I always cite the example of we could consolidate with the town of New Scotland, and the people in the town of Scotland would benefit greatly from that, but the people in Bethlehem would probably cost us a lot of money. So every time the idea of consolidation comes along, you have to look at the possibilities, and you have to look at whether it's a cost-effective way to approach things. But we continue to look at those ideas, and we continue to take advantage of any opportunity we have to consolidate or share services.
Thank you, Mr. Cunningham. This next question has a bit of a preamble to it. Bear with me. Sewer on Selkirk is a campaign to bring sewer to Cottage Lane, part of Maple Ave, and part of Beaver Dam Road in Selkirk. High water levels, wetlands, and sewer around the area, and health concerns to children, pets, and ourselves make it a necessity that can no longer wait. Yet no funding is available for the town of Bethlehem for this project. Would you consider hiring the services of a grants administrator who could pursue and manage a variety of grants which could help us with the estimated cost given of over $6 million?
Yeah, this is an ongoing issue for several areas down in Selkirk. For those that are familiar, there's areas in Selkirk that don't have sewer systems. There's been a petition lately to put sewer systems in there. We are going to be meeting with the residents of that area at the end of this month at the Becker School in their neighborhood in order to talk to them about what's required in order to put sewer in that area. In order to put sewer in, we need the cooperation and we need the support of the residents down there. This effort has been moved